Hello, Meigs County. This is the Meigs County Podcast, and I'm your host Keith Klinger, and I live in 10 Mile. Watts Bar Lake water level stands at 739 and a half feet, which is 1.45 feet below full pool. I think they might have been letting a little bit out here, getting ready for this rain that's coming in. I know we've had a little bit of rain lately, but one thing I want you to still be mindful of is it was really dry for the last couple of weeks. We're probably going to get dry again, so be careful of the wildfires. Burn permits are still in effect for a few more weeks here, I believe. I flew out of town. I flew out of Chattanooga for a business trip last week, and this is the image from the plane. So this was right after takeoff. We hadn't gotten to full altitude yet, and there was more than one of these out there. I specifically took this picture for y'all so you could see it. There is still wildfire danger out there, and please just keep your burns contained or get burn permit for the next few weeks until we get a little greener. Let's see, where am I at here? Business highlight of the week, Seawee Creek Farm. I just picked up my locally raised half beef from them, and it's delicious. They are open most Fridays and Saturdays. And whether you want to buy a whole animal or half an animal like I did, or just a couple steaks, it's a great place to shop. Very friendly people, very nice family. They've got a lot of other things to buy too, not just beef. So you should go on down and check them out. Something that's become important to me over the last several years is sourcing as much as I can locally. Their meat is locally and humanely raised. So let's see here. I took this picture. Here's a picture off their Facebook page. This is a couple of the animals at Seawee Creek Farms. They're happy. They get on a little grass. They're not overcrowded. And I remember back when I lived in California, these big giant feedlots. You see them when you drive through Texas too. They just stretch for miles and miles, these feedlots. And I wanted to show you a picture of one of these feedlots. These animals are just in terrible conditions. This is not Seawee Creek. Seawee Creek was that first picture. They got happy cows. This is your typical feedlot where the big chains, where Walmart, where any of the grocery stores get their meat from. And they're knee deep in their own waste. They're pumped full of hormones, antibiotics, and the food isn't even healthy for them. It's just meant to put weight on the animal, not make healthy beef for you to meet. So do me a favor, no matter who you buy your beef from, go down and meet your local rancher, shake their hand, get to see how the animals are raised. After learning about a lot about all this, I do my best to buy local beef whenever I can. Anything, beef, pork, chicken, I want it raised here on a local farm, not just, wrapped in plastic and injected with chemicals so it'll keep its color like they do over at Walmart. Current events. Let's see what we got here for current events today. Oh, the Chamber of Commerce. Swing by the Chamber where there'll be a short lecture on smart ways to boost your business. Grab a coffee, chat with other business folks, and leave with a few new fresh ideas to help you grow. Nothing formal, just good combos and helpful tips. That's going to be Chamber of Commerce, 365 Able Avenue. Please get back to them by, today's Wednesday, so please get back to them by the end of business Friday so they can know how many spots to have there for you. Next up, Pre-K and Head Start pre-registration day is April 25th at the Meigs County Middle School gym. Make sure you bring your birth certificate, Social Security, updated school physical, updated immunization record, and proof of income. For more information, contact Amy Woods. Call or text 423-405-4482. Next up, Pilkey's General Store is hiring for both locations here in 10 Mile. They got two real nice general stores. They've done a lot to really make those buildings look a lot better in the community here. If you are interested, they have all positions are available, I believe. Hiring for both locations, all positions. So pause this, take a picture of this QR code here, and that'll take you right to the application page. As always, if you have news to share, a business to highlight, or a topic you want me to cover, you can reach out to me here on Facebook or email me at Meigs County Podcast at gmail.com. Before I get into commission news, I want to read you something I got from the mayor. We've got some special heroes here in Meigs County, and I want to take just a second to talk about them. On August 31st, 2024, in Meigs County, Tennessee, tragedy struck a family when a devastating head-on collision occurred in the pouring rain. The scene was one of chaos and heartbreak. A mother had lost her life on impact. 4 children were injured, 2 of them critically. When Meigs County ambulance service arrived, they faced a harrowing challenge. With only one 24-hour ALS ambulance serving the entire rural community, every decision had to be precise. Paramedic Ashton Hughes, along with AEMTs Adam Roberts and Lacey Bevins, and firefighter Sean Roberts, worked in a high-stress condition to stabilize 2 critically injured children while also coordinating care for the other siblings. A 6-year-old girl was found unrestrained in the vehicle, lying between the front and back seats. She suffered a femur fracture, a deformed left arm, and a depressed skull fracture. She was ventilated, given pain medications, and sedated as paramedics worked to stabilize her. A 1-year-old boy who had been improperly restrained in a car seat sustained severe open head wound exposing his skull due to the force of impact. His bleeding was uncontrolled and he was in and out of responsiveness. With smoke coming from the vehicle, firefighters quickly extracted the children, handing them over to Meigs County EMS for life-saving interventions. With air transport unavailable due to a storm, Ashton and her team had to make a critical decision. Knowing that every second counted, they transported the children by ambulance to the closest emergency facility in Sweetwater to stabilize them before transferring them to pediatric ICU at UT Medical Center. Throughout the transport and treatment, the team remained calm, focused, and compassionate, providing not just medical care, but also emotional support to the children experiencing unthinkable trauma. They're getting the Region 3 Star Life Award. It's important to recognize our first responders and the role they play in our community, and I want to thank personally anyone who works or volunteers to keep our community safe. Thank you. All right, speaking of community safety, I try and come up with a new question for the commission each week. It was kind of unrelated. It was nice that they talked about this, and my question was related to emergency preparedness. We do, in fact, have a mass casualty contingency plan, and they conduct drills regularly. I was impressed by how quickly and how many people on the commission were knowledgeable about this subject, and I have to just say it, they do get some things right sometimes. Something else nice happened last week. I had a very nice phone call with one of the commissioners since the last podcast, and they took the time to answer some questions and clarify a few things for me. That trustees RDB report I showed you with all those negative numbers, they should actually be read as positive numbers. And the way that it was explained to me, which was a very good explanation, was to view the trustees' reports as an accounts receivable and the financial officers' reports as accounts payable. Now that I know that, I'm going to start reconciling the two reports and see where we really stand. And once I get some more information, I will definitely get back to y'all. One of the things that I worked on at the last commission meeting was writing down all the commissioners' names in the order in which they are called during a vote. They do this so fast. It takes 30 seconds for 11 people to make a vote. They just bang, bang, bang right through them. And my goal is to report on how each commissioner votes on each issue and report it back to you here. And I will be ready for it next time, unless they change the order on me. The last meeting, I did get the names for one vote. Decker Industries. I don't know if you remember. Those are the social Marxists that want to lie to small business owners so the county can collect more taxes. You know, the enforcement equals equity people that went to California or Tennessee. Jerry Harris, Zach England, Wanda Morrow, Rick Vaughn, and Chris Vanell all voted to do business with this company. They all voted yes to do business with this company. But here's what's really shocking. At the workshop meeting just a week earlier, I told the commission how when I got home from the previous meeting, I had found the names of 5 other companies that provide the same service with a simple internet search. Then I asked the commission if any of them had taken the time to do any research on their own. None of them answered yes. Jerry Harris, Zach England, Wanda Morrow, Rick Vaughn, and Chris Vanell voted yes to do business with a company whose ethics had been brought into question without doing any individual research. Like I said, I'll be bringing you every commissioner's vote on every topic at the next meeting unless they change the order on me. Now let's talk about that new jail we're getting. Oh yeah, we're getting it. We're going to get something. They already decided. They may not have voted on it yet, but it's coming. And you want to know how I know? Because I can see how the commissioners feel trapped. You have no idea how much indoctrination and pressure a commissioner is under from the day that they get elected. So here's what happens. The first thing that happens to a newly elected commissioner is they're required to go through an orientation put on by County Technical Assistance Service, CTAS. CTAS is an entity created by the state legislature and administered by the University of Tennessee. Now, don't get me wrong, CTAS has some good people. They have some very good education, but they also tell new commissioners that they have no power and they can only do what the state tells them to do. They try to crush creative thinking before a new commissioner makes their first vote. I'm not saying they're bad people, just like I tell you how I believe that most of our commissioners are good human beings. But I don't think anyone should put 100% of their trust into an organization administered by a board who pays themselves anywhere between $820,000 and $2.7 million a year, depending on which board member you are, simultaneously taking over $300 million in donations from undisclosed donors, because that's who CTAS works for. They work for a board that pays themselves that way. If you want any information, you go ahead and message me here on Facebook or send me an email at meigscountypodcast@gmail.com. It's like saying an organization is good just because it's a nonprofit. Well, the federal government checked them out, so they must be good people, right? There are plenty of nefarious people out there running nonprofits. Doing some research for today's podcast, I want you to look up Edmund Ford Jr. He is a county commissioner from Shelby County who was indicted just this last February. He used nonprofits and grants to funnel himself hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what he would do is he would vote to send grant money to a nonprofit, and then that nonprofit would send part of the money to him. Now, I'm not saying anybody on our commission is doing anything like that. Like I said, they're good, honest people. But grants and nonprofits are not always good. Just because something comes from the government doesn't mean it's always good. And we need to do our research and do our homework and make sure that what we're voting on, what our commissioners are voting on, is what's best for the people of Meigs County. While I was on the phone with that commissioner, he clarified something else for me. The recent vote did not send a representative to the Southeast Tennessee Developmental District. That vote was actually for the local planning commission. He went on to explain how SETD was not an NGO, like I reported, and it was also created by the state. It's a intergovernmental agency that helps counties get grants. Again, our county commissioners are taught that SETD is a good organization that helps their community get money. We do, in fact, send a representative to SETD. I haven't figured out who it is yet, but I will. Does this all mean SETD is good for Meigs County? No, but all the commissioners have been told that it is. It was created by the state. So they just vote yes on whatever grants are offered to us, regardless of the strings attached. when in reality, SETD encourages local governments to adopt formal zoning and land use regulation in order to qualify for grants. What does this mean? This means less individual property rights. If we don't keep adopting more restrictive rules, the grants will stop. My question is, why can't Meigs County stand on its own 2 feet? Why do we need these grants? Why are we standing on the street corner with a cardboard sign begging for money instead of getting to work? Because our commissioners don't work. Seriously, if they can't be bothered to Google alternatives to a company when presented with evidence that that company may be unethical, do you really think they read and research every grant? Read and research all the restrictions every grant puts on us? Any commissioner that has read every grant is invited to come on the podcast and tell me I'm wrong. Listen, 10 hours a week. That's my invitation to every commissioner. Work 10 hours a week outside of the meetings at the job you were elected to. 11 commissioners working 10 hours a week is 110 man hours. Like I keep saying, the commissioners are good people. There isn't a dumb one sitting up there. They lack leadership and direction, but I bet with 110 man hours a week, the commission could work out a pretty elegant solution to that jail nobody wants. That's it for me. As always, any elected official is always welcome as a guest to explain their side of the story or educate me on anything I get wrong. Contact me here on Facebook or email me at Meigs County Podcast at gmail.com. See, I said it right a whole bunch of times today. I corrected myself. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.